Hey, everybody from around the globe, we're about to get started. Once again, let's get ready for our presentation given by Mr. Derek Brown. He has 100% of the facts. He has positioned himself to be making money in this opportunity. We are so honored. Once again, he is my mentor. He's very, very once an astute businessman in the industry. I'm so excited that he came and shared this opportunity with me months and months ago. And once again, I'm so excited. I had a chance to participate in Bitcoins years ago, and I didn't take advantage of it. I'm regretting it to this day, but I'm so excited that this opportunity that we have with Bellator and Metaterra, I'm so excited that this opportunity has come our way. Are y'all ready? Let's get ready for our leader and the presentation today from Mr. Derek Brown. Mr. Brown.
All right. Can you hear me okay?
Hear you clearly. Hear you clearly. Yes, sir.
Awesome. Awesome. And Mr. Jarman, if we could mute the line and even turn off the chimes that.
Okay, you muted Mr. Brown. You got to unmute
Mr.
him.
Brown can unmute himself.
Okay,
there we go.
Okay,
all right, there we go. All right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Good morning to some. I have to say up front, we're definitely excited. As you can see, the gentleman who introduced me has a wealth of excitement for all of us. This gentleman said some good things about me, ladies and gentlemen, but I have to let you all know that he is a consummate leader in his own right. I met Mr. Hines several years ago, and we actually traveled up and down the East Coast, went out to the West Coast, and we literally had an opportunity to share with business leaders, professionals, ministry gifts. And so I'm so honored that he's done it again. He's plugged in to this particular opportunity. And this particular call, again, is for ministry gifts, leaders, professionals, and it's open to everyone, and especially our Bellator family as well. So again, Mr. Hines, thank you so much for allowing me an opportunity to share our phenomenal business with the world, and that is Metaterra, Bellator, Miracle Cash, and more. So with that being said, I want to let you guys know again, I've had tremendous success. He said some good things about me, but I'm no different than anyone else within the sound of my voice. Literally did everything I was told to do by Mama Brown, like I'm sure you all did as well, right? I was told to go to school so I can get a good education, so I can get up out of her house, right? Did all that, and I have to be frank with you all this afternoon and this morning that after completing those basic tasks that we all do, I was totally delusioned and dissatisfied with where I was with my job. I hated my job. Let me just be honest. I don't know. I know we have a lot of Indian chiefs on the line today, but at that point when I was working, I absolutely hated it. And those that do, you may be able to relate to me. Number one, I didn't like the quality time that I was being allowed to spend with my family because I had to give the best part of my day to a company and help them build their vision, help them reach their goals, while they had no concern of what my personal and family goals were. I don't know if any of you can relate to that. If you can, put some sevens in the chat, right? So the other thing that I didn't like is I wasn't satisfied with the income that I was making. I wasn't satisfied with literally being in a position where I was robbing Peter and Paul. You know, we looked good on the outside, my spouse and I at the time. But the fact was, every payday we'd be behind closed doors, fussing like cats and dogs. Because again, we were always trying to make those ends meet, but it seemed like they were burning at both ends. So with that, I also found myself working just hard enough for them not to fire me. I was working just hard enough for them not to fire me. They were paying me just enough for me not to quit. And I realized I was just making a living. And I decided over 20, I've been in the industry for 35 plus years, but over 18, 19 years ago, I made a decision that I was just making a living. I decided that was no way to live. So I was blessed to be able to be introduced to a gentleman who at the time was earning more in a month than I was making in an entire year. I don't know if that would get your attention, but it got mine. He shared with me, he said, Derek, I'm going to show you how to work smart and not just work hard. So ladies and gentlemen, it freed me up several years ago So this afternoon, I'm here to simply share a concept with you. And I'm here to have a conversation with you as well. I'm going to give you this information and move out the way. The one thing I ask is that each and every one of us, I don't care what level we are in life, there's something called an ego. And that's how, we see ourselves. But sometimes our ego doesn't, it's a disservice to us. The only thing I ask is that we all put our ego to the side for just a moment throughout this conversation, put on our business hats. Because if you've never seen a full overview on Metaterra and Bellator, then you've never witnessed what you're about to see. So with that, again, I'm honored to have an opportunity. I want to welcome everyone. I want to give an extra special welcome to our first-time viewers because you are the ones who this information is for today, okay? First thing I want to do is let you know that Metaterra and Bellator dot every I and they cross every T. So the first thing we're going to do is go through this quick disclaimer, and then we're going to jump right into the information. Here we go. Turn your speakers up.
The information provided does not constitute financial advice, investment recommendations, or an endorsement of any investment strategy. Investment involves risk, and past performance is not indicative of future results. Always conduct thorough research and seek the advice of a qualified financial professional before making any investment decisions. Any reliance on the information provided is at your own risk. We do not guarantee the accuracy or completeness of the information and disclaim any liability for any direct or consequential loss arising from any use of this content. Remember that all investments carry risk, and you should be aware of your risk tolerance and financial situation before making investment decisions. This presentation includes general information only and does not constitute financial advice. Please consult a qualified financial professional before making any investment decisions. The following content is protected under copyright law. Please respect these terms to ensure compliance.
All right, absolutely phenomenal. So again, ladies and gentlemen, two things very quickly. There's something going on with the lighting situation in my camera, so I may fade in and out. I literally have a ring lamp in my face, so I apologize for that if my face goes in and out, but it's not about me. I don't want you to judge the messenger. I want you to focus on the message. So with that, I want to do something very quickly. I want to make sure I have my sound correct because I'm going to be showing and sharing just a few short video clips. So I want to make sure that we have everything in its proper perspective in reference to the sound, and we're going to get started. All right, yes, we do have that in place. Okay. Still a little bit low tech, high check, but we're getting up there.
The information provided does not.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to start with a question. This is a question I want you to keep in mind as we move through this information. First and foremost, because remember, if you've never seen a full overview, then you have never witnessed what you're about to hear. This is why I say let's put our business hats on, all right? Because the only thing that will allow you to miss what you're about to witness, because you can't unsee it once it's been seen, is ego. And that's why I simply ask everybody for us to get on the same level, leave that to the side, and let's receive the information. So what if you could participate in the largest industry on the planet? In addition to that, what if you could generate a passive income stream that will outlive your grandchildren? See, the fact of the matter is we shouldn't be concerned just about our children. They're fine because they're in our immediate space. We're supposed to be thinking. We're supposed to be working and laying up in store for our children's children, our unborn grandchildren. But most people can't think in that perspective because they're trading hours for dollars. And you can't leave a job. You can't will a job to your family. And I'm not a scholar in this area, but there's a phenomenal book out there that says a good man or woman leaves an inheritance for their children's children. So in addition to that, what if you had an opportunity to purchase a product one time and get paid for life? I want you to think about that. The fact is, what would you do? Would you procrastinate or would you take action? because we missed Bitcoin, we missed Amazon, we missed Tesla. And I know most people did because I did. I'm right there with you because we probably wouldn't be on this call this afternoon if we didn't. We'd already be on our own island. So the key is this afternoon is, do you have eyes to see and ears to hear when you've been blessed with another unicorn that has come across your path? Would you take action or would you procrastinate? So with that being said, I want you to understand that we're converging two worlds, the real world and the digital economy. The bridge that's making that happen is a company called Miracle Cash and More. This is why you see the Miracle Bridge. Now, through this convergence, we have governance, which is global regulated oversight. As I told you, all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. We have technology, which is blockchain infrastructure. As a matter of fact, it's a step deeper than that because we have our own blockchain. All right? The community is you and I. The fact that we have an opportunity to participate in this convergence that's taking place, because understand, ladies and gentlemen, we are not on the way to a digital society. I want you to understand we're in one right now. Our current administration made a global statement. He said he's going to see to it while we have a global call going on, but his goal is to make the U.S. the crypto capital of the world. So why not be open to this idea of where we're going so you can ride the wave and manifest your dreams and goals instead of being slammed by it? Most important thing is we have real world assets. I want you to understand that a lot of these opportunities are only as good as their ecosystem. It can't be used in the real world. Well, not only are we converging, again, the real world with the digital economy, but we have real world assets. RWA is a term that you want to add to your vocabulary. And I'm going to take it one step deeper because tokenization is the next level of that, where people are seeing financial freedom as well. Now, just as that building just grew from the ground up, what's the foundation? See, I want everybody to understand my goal in these brief next few short minutes is to simply give you enough information to where you can make an educated decision to assume an equity position, not next week, but today. So you need to understand what's the foundation and who's behind this concept. Well, that's Metaterra Holdings. And as you can see, we're moving beyond unregulated crypto projects. We're built on a foundation of corporate accountability. Ladies and gentlemen, the days are over, at least for those of us who are already plugged in, of the rug pulls, of putting our money in bots that are literally telling us we're going to make 1-2% a day, and in 90 days you'll be a millionaire. No, in 90 days, the platform is not going to be there. Ask me how I know offline, okay? So we have to start dealing with regulation. We have to make sure that we're not dealing with any more unregulated crypto projects. And then what's the foundation? In addition to that, I want you to understand that what you're about to witness is going public this week. We're a NASDAQ listed company providing full global accountability. That's right. Today is Tuesday, tomorrow, I believe, is it tomorrow? I've been doing so many presentations, but this Wednesday on the 25th, we are literally going public, ladies and gentlemen. Now, there's corporate governance, as I mentioned, and the significance is the professional oversight of all the companies within our ecosystem. So with that, now you need to get a clear understanding of who's behind this. Well, we have world-class leadership as well as a world-class advisory board. Our fearless CEO is Mr. Hakan. This is him here. Then in addition to that, we have our head of EU, Mr. Koch. We have our head of legal, Mr. Bachi, and the head of our finance department. I tear these names up, Mr. Yilmaz, right? But then in addition to that, we have an advisory board, ladies and gentlemen, where we're actually in position through Metaterra Holdings. We've actually merged Web3 and Wall Street. Somebody didn't catch what I said. We're actually merging, not Wall Street throwing money at this platform, not them investing in it, but literally aligning themselves with us. So our advisory board is spearheaded by a gentleman named Mr. Douglas Anderson. He's the he's the CEO of Wall Street Capital, on Wall Street. As a matter of fact, I want to do you one better. I want to introduce you, number one, to our CEO's website. This is Mr. Hakan Toran. This is him popping up on the screen. You can take a screenshot, save the website, because we want you to do your due diligence, okay? This, on his website, you can not only learn about the ecosystem as well, but you can get all the other information you need in reference to what you're hearing about right now. So this is Mr. Hakan Toran sitting in the boardroom at the corporate office for Miracle Cash and More in North Cyprus, okay? So now this is our corporate website. So remember, we have Metaterra, which is our holdings company. We have Bellator, which I'm going to explain, which is the marketing arm. And then we have the technology company, which is Miracle Cash and More, all right? So this is our corporate website, Metaterra.com. So very quickly, I want to introduce you to our CEO. He put together a short welcoming message for you. No, I'm just kidding. This is actually on the website. So again, turn up your speakers. Remember, the few clips I'm showing are super short, but they are super powerful as well. Here we go.
Hi there. Today I'm happy to announce the establishment of Metaterra. We have finally consolidated all our projects, all our businesses under the Metaterra umbrella. We have signed a concrete agreement with Wall Street Capital Partners. Together, we are bringing this to the second level. Our vision has finally been executed. We are ready.
Yes, we are ready, ladies and gentlemen. So I was just introducing you to our board members, right? Here's the leadership team, our fearless CEO, Mr. Hakan Toran. Remember, Metaterra.com. I'm not going to read all this information, of course. And then I just introduced you to head of finance and head of legal. What I want to bring your attention to very quickly, because this is super important, you need to understand we don't have just a successful businessman at the helm of our board or our company. We don't have just someone who did very well in the field and made millions of dollars. Now they think just because they make the best pies in the neighborhood doesn't mean they had the skill set to open a pie company. All right? If you know, you know. So I want to introduce you again, Doug Anderson, Wall Street veteran with 25 million in underwriting authority and hundreds of millions raised in private equity. Then we have the super friends who Mr. Doug Anderson has put together as our board members. We have Mr. Stephen Moore. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, he's a globally recognized economist, author, senior economic advisor to political campaigns. He just advised the current administration, and then he was offered the opportunity to be chairman of the Federal Reserve. He respectfully turned it down. The hint, clue for you this afternoon is he said no to the opportunity to be chairman of the Federal Reserve, but said yes to being a board member on Metaterra. Are you kidding me? Then we have Mr. Fernando Vidasola. He is a senator in Mexico. He has dual citizenship here and in the U.S., but the Vidasola family have become billionaires through Kenworth Trucking. They're also on the exchange, but he's an expert in cross-border trade and blockchain applications, board member with Metaterra. Mr. John Baer. Mr. John Baer, ladies and gentlemen, do your research, is the reason why Google is able to operate as they are from a technological standpoint. Mr. Baer is the reason why Netflix is able to stream without a hassle. John Baer is the reason why we have cell phones. Ladies and gentlemen, it wasn't Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was a phenomenal marketer. John Baer is the reason why you have a cell phone that you're probably reviewing this on right now. Mr. Steven Norris, he's a board member. These are our board members. Mr. Steven Norris, co-founder of the Marriott, co-founder of the Carlyle Group, a $477 billion fund. He's also an advisor to the kings in Saudi Arabia, and you're going to see how that ties in just a moment. Miss Monica Profit. Miss Profit is so bad, she's written her own book called Blockchain 101, and she's a well-known, globally respected blockchain advisor and professional. Then we have Mr. Russ Gerson, who is a phenomenal businessman in the aspect of finance as well. Ladies and gentlemen, these are our board members. As you can see, Metaterra, our governance or corporate company, is located in the heart of the financial district in New York City, 45 Rockefeller Plaza. So remember, it's important to know who's behind this. Now, what I want to do very quickly is I want to introduce you and bring you in on a $1 billion conversation right now. We're going to get to the nitty gritty, but understand, again, before I made any moves, again, after the rug pulls, after all the heartbreaks and letdowns in this industry, and it got deeper than just talking to the owner, because if he had lack of integrity, it was going to manifest and come out after a while anyway. I needed to know who was behind this. So I want to introduce you to one of our board members who I just told you about, Mr. Steven Norris. In this meeting in our corporate office in North Cyprus, which is a huge 3-story building with hundreds of employees, this was a private meeting where individuals flew out to meet with our CEO, Hakan. On the screen now, and who you're about to hear from, is Mr. Stephen Moore, who I just told you about. To his left is our chairman of our board, Mr. Douglas Anderson. You're also going to see the CEO of Bellator, Mr. Michael Thear, as well as Mr. Russ Gerson was in the room. But turn your speakers up and let me let you in on this $1 billion conversation. Pay close attention.
When we started, we had bought a book distribution company called Baker and Taylor. It was a kind of non-eventful acquisition. We bought it because they were having, interestingly enough, systems problems. As you might imagine, moving books around is complicated, and they're heavy, and they are in different shapes. And so having systems that work efficiently was complicated, and they had problems, and effectively took over the firm to fix those. We brought an executive who I'd known when I worked years ago at Marriott to take over. And we were approached by someone saying they'd like to, if they could, license our book list. And being private equity investors, we thought, well, if that's another source of cash, we could pay down debt quicker, we could make more money, so why not take a look? And so we licensed our book list to a young man who was most of the time late in payments, but eventually came along. And we had no idea what he was building, but he was building a company that enabled people to buy books over the internet. And you might imagine that company is now a very large company called Amazon. But when we were doing that deal all those years ago, we had no idea where it was all going. We just knew we sat in the kind of crease between new finance and old finance and where the world might be going and where it come from. And Metaterra, interestingly enough, is sort of in the same position. I think that I've now had enough discussions with really sophisticated managers and engineers here that I get a pretty good feel for exactly what you're trying to do. But I suspect that the average Wall Street executive needs some education. And so that in itself is exciting to see how a company like this grows and the things that it can influence and touch. So for me, being on the advisory board is a privilege, and I look forward to it, continuing to work with all of you. But effectively,
absolutely phenomenal. Let's get back to the meat. Now that you have a clear understanding of who is behind this phenomenal ecosystem that's been built, let's jump into the meat of the matter a little bit. Now, this is a very short clip that's going to give you key insight into why this is a true opportunity. Then we're going to get to some numbers, and I'm going to wrap up. Turn your speakers up. Here we go.
Dear Bellator family, we wanted to share some key insights to help you better understand the true value of the opportunity you are part of, the foundation of Miracle Cash and more. Miracle Cash and More began its journey in 2017 with a clear vision to become a global fintech powerhouse, not just a traditional bank. Our starting point was the development of a core banking system, also known as a switch in the financial industry. This system consists of millions of lines of code. It took 3 years and over $5 million to develop. We built a mid-level core banking system from the ground up. Why is this significant? Because we own the technology. We are not leasing or dependent on third parties, which saves costs and provides flexibility.
When you invest your time in a company, that company should deserve your time and effort by providing real sustainable value. What has the company invested to create an opportunity for you? Who is the actual customer? If it's just you, then it's not a real business. It's a cycle destined to fail. Most crypto MLMs have failed because they start with a compensation plan and then pick a product that fits. Their focus isn't on solving real-world problems, but on making quick money. That's not sustainable. Miracle Cash and More is not an MLM. It's a fintech company offering real services to merchants. Bellator is the marketing arm, designed to help expand Miracle's reach. This gives us the best of both worlds. A company with real products and services. A network marketing structure to help spread the word and reward those who grow the network.
Absolutely phenomenal. So as you just heard, Metaterra, Bellator, and Miracle Cash and More. This is a software solutions company, a real company in the fintech space, financial technology, with a product that operates in the real world, not just in our little ecosystem. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand that Miracle Cash and More is a rock solid 8-year-old company, 100+ employees. Over 90 million has already been invested with no third-party assistance, and they're fully licensed and insured around the world. Highly regulated as well. As I mentioned, all the I's are dotted and the T's have been crossed. In addition to that, we already have physical brick and mortar stores around the world. Yes, this is a screenshot of the first one that opened in Amsterdam. And I'll tell you a little bit more about them in the next slide. But what I have to bring your attention to is this image, where it's a brain and above it, it says banking core. It's also called a switch. Well, as you can see, our entire ecosystem is connected to and operated by the brain, which is the banking core or the switch. The only entity, listen to me closely, in the world that has a banking core or switch outside of Miracle Cash and More are the central banks. This is why it took time to make sure that this ecosystem was put in place correctly. All right. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand we already have a global presence. These are screenshots of the front of some of our other locations around the world on the left side. And then on the right side, these are pictures of the inside of our physical crypto stores where you can go on any form of payment, check, credit card, debit card, cash, and you can acquire any type of cryptocurrency in the world. You can also do the reverse, going with any type of cryptocurrency and convert it into fiat. So again, this is why I make it clear that you're not just hearing about some company that just popped up on the scene. It's an 8-year-old company with brick and mortar stores already around the world. The key is now you and I have an opportunity to take advantage of this phenomenal technology that they created. And this video is going to let you know what the technology is specifically and why they built their own switch. Also, why we have a competitive edge, but actually we have no competition, because if somebody even tried to start doing what we've accomplished, it would take them 8 years to get to our beginning point 8 years ago. So again, remember, these short clips are very powerful. Pay quick attention, and we're going to get to the numbers. Here we go.
We built our own switch. No third-party licensing required. Handles crypto transactions directly with customizable merchant admin panels. Offers higher APRs than traditional banks, making us the crypto bank for merchants. Secure and efficient transaction management. Continuous updates to benefit both customers and merchants.
Ladies and gentlemen, these words are going by very quickly. I have to pause it here and read this with you. It says a huge victory because of who we are and what we offer. We're trying to secure. No, it doesn't say we're trying to secure. It says we have secured 4 contracts with the 4 of the largest POS device companies in the world. Those 4 companies are Ingenico, Pax, Verifone, and NCR. Please listen to me closely. A POS device is the device that you tap, swipe, and insert your card when you're going to get your groceries, pick up your dry cleaner, or getting your gas, or you tap it to pay with Apple Pay. Sometimes you have to put your PIN code in. That's a point of sales device. So what I want you to understand is we've already secured 4 of the largest companies in the world that actually provide the POS devices for all companies globally. Understand, when you go on Walmart, pretty big company, right? Walmart doesn't own their own financial rails to receive their own money. Ingenico does. When you go in Target or Macy's, I'm trying to think of big companies, they don't, you could go in your bank. Listen to me close. You go in Chase Bank, you go in Wells Fargo. They don't own the rails to receive income from the individuals using the POS devices. Those rails are owned by one of these 4 companies, and we already have them contracted. You're getting your first aha moment. I know it. I'm going to make it clear for you. So pay attention to the rest of the wording in this video, because it's all going to relate to the fact of where we stand by having these 4 contracts already secured. Here we go. My play button disappeared. I knew that was going to happen. Let's go back very quickly. It's just rolling forward. I know how to fix that, because you got to pay attention to what's said after that clip. Here we go. All right. My mentor back in the day told me, never let them see you sweat. Here we go. And I'm going to fast forward it to that point.
Continuous update.
All right. Pay close attention from here moving forward.
These companies represent over 100 million active accounts, and our technology is installed in all of these machines. This is a huge victory and a clear sign that we are leading the way in the industry. This is why it takes time to be the best. Building something of this magnitude isn't easy. It requires patience, dedication, and relentless hard work. But the results speak for themselves.
All right, another Power Pack clip. And as you heard him say, these 4 companies represent over 100 merchant terminals that we already have contracted. Again, what were those 4 companies, ladies and gentlemen? Ingenico, Pax, Verifone, and NCR represents over 100 million merchant devices globally that, again, are already contracted. Well, I don't like to talk about it. I like to show and prove. This is a screenshot of Ingenico's website. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a multi-billion-dollar company. This is not our website. This is Ingenico's website. They're in 120 plus countries, but they've got 40 million terminals deployed worldwide. Are you kidding me? So what I want you to understand is not only are they already contracted, but we're already slated on their partner solutions page as the go-to technology to allow those 40 million terminals to accept cryptocurrency as a form of payment. The technology is called Miracle Pay, created by Miracle Cash and more. So now I want you to witness our CEO of Bellator unboxing a new POS device that Ingenico sent to him. And what I want you to pay attention to is where we're located within the software. Take a look at this.
Hey everyone, take a look at this. We just got a few of these machines shipped to us. It's the new Ingenico machine. And then when we turned it on, look at that. Look at that. How amazing is that? We're literally preloaded, not in the App Store, but actually on the device itself. You hit that, there you go. Isn't that incredible? Wow.
Wow is right. Absolutely phenomenal. So now, ladies and gentlemen, now that you have a clearer understanding of what Miracle Cashmore has to offer. A rock solid 8-year-old company that's created this phenomenal technology that not only allows businesses to accept cryptocurrency as a form of payment, but those businesses, and I'm tying it in, I'm going to tune into your favorite radio station in a few seconds. I know what your favorite radio station is WIFM. Derek, all this sounds good, but what's in it for me? I'm tuning in. Flow with me, okay? So now this technology allows businesses around the world to accept cryptocurrency as a form of payment. Hundreds of thousands of people, or millions of people around the world, rather, are earning and they gather in cryptocurrency, but they don't know what to do with it. Or they acquire a card that has these ridiculous fees. They charge you every time you load it, every time you swipe it. Well, now this technology not only allows businesses, so understand we're on the right side of the equation. We're not concerned with what the market does. Well, we want the market to do good, but our income doesn't depend on whether the market does bad or good. We're not reading any charts. I'm a trader. All my friends are traders. I don't trade anymore because I simply acquired the software that I'm about to introduce you to. Okay, but the businesses don't even have to become cryptocurrency savvy because the technology is so advanced that when they receive it, it converts it automatically into fiat and deposits it in their bank account. Are you kidding me? So again, Miracle Cash and More is the entity that's created that technology, right? Now, Bellator is the marketing arm. Bellator is like a big baby because it's a year old. So from a marketing perspective, your timing couldn't be better because again, Bellator is connected with and tethered to Miracle Cash and More. As a matter of fact, the only access you have to the technology of Miracle Cash and More is to come through Bellator. Are you with me? Now, I want you to understand, ladies and gentlemen, what you're witnessing is an opportunity where now the marketing arm has been put in place to give us global access to people around the world to have access to the technology. Bellator has a phenomenal corporate team as well, spearheaded by its CEO, Mr. Michael Thear. Also, we have Mr. Ray Vidrio is the vice president. Then we have Mr. Jürgen Pulvermuller is the president, and Raquel, which is a phenomenal, wonderful soul, is the director of operations. I'm trying to say applications and operations at the same time. I'm sorry about that. So again, understand, and I keep going a little too fast for myself here. Understand everything is governed and operated by world-class leadership, okay? So I want you to understand the major difference between Bellator and any and everything else on the planet in reference to a marketing aspect is in the traditional model, everything has holes. There's constant pressure to refill. Get them in, get them in. There's monthly auto ship. We don't have any of that. There's costs to sign up and get in the business. We don't have any of that. Bellator has leveled the playing ground. We've removed all the barriers. We have a permanent foundation in place where you can acquire a technology one time and get paid for life. I want you to keep that in mind. It is a huge difference. And later on, I'll break down, this is a marketing term, our Aladdin model, okay? So with that being said, Bellator, the marketing arm, 1 year old, they just launched December of last year, has a phenomenal compensation plan. And you want to know something? This afternoon, we're not even going to touch on the comp plan. I'm simply going to show you what you can earn from having the business acumen to acquire this technology that I've been leading up to called the software node that you purchase one time and get paid for life. That's going to keep you hyped up for the rest of the day, and you're not going to sleep well tonight. Trust me. Now, understand it's a ground floor opportunity, as I mentioned. Matter of fact, we're trying to get up to the ground floor. We're down in the basement because it's just a year old. So your timing couldn't be better. No attrition is what helped me make my final decision. There's a global statistic that said anyone who participates in the home-based business industry, now understand, the majority of the people who plug in to Bellator to acquire the technology of Miracle Cash and More, they're doing it from a passive perspective. They'll say, Coach Hines, I just want to earn from a passive perspective. Hey, absolutely fine. Sign up for free with Bellator, acquire the technology, get paid for life. However, a few people have the heart condition to share. And if you do, then there is a phenomenal compensation plan where people are already earning just insane income monthly. But I want to focus on the passive side today. We'll get to that, okay? So the no attrition part, statistics says over 95% of the individuals that get involved in the home-based business arena, from a financial perspective, they fail. We won't get into the reasons why, but it's a global statistic. As a full-time professional, so-called, that's what they call it, when I saw that Bellator has completely taken a statistic that's been in this industry since I started over 35 years ago, turned it completely upside down to whereas 100% of the people that plug into Bellator and acquire our technology, this software node, will succeed 100% of the time. It was a no-brainer for me. As a matter of fact, for those that do like to share, you could have 2 people on your team or 20,000. Listen to me close. All 20,000 of them can leave, and it won't affect your income 1 red cent because there's no human intervention. We're not just bringing them in, and we don't get paid from people coming in. We get paid from a technology that pays us for life. Even the people that quit are still getting paid. Are you kidding me? So understand it's a one-time purchase and you get paid for life. There are no monthly fees. So the aha moment, what are we talking about? I understand you guys got this great technology that allows businesses to accept cryptocurrency as a form of payment. I understand you have world-class leadership in place. I love the fact that Wall Street has merged with you guys. I'm thoroughly impressed. But what's in it for me? We're talking about you having the ability to acquire a CPU node. It validates transactions on the network, and we're paid in our native token, which is the token for our entire ecosystem, the gas, called the Phoenix token. Ladies and gentlemen, we get paid, it says daily, but you're paid all throughout the day. You know why? When are people doing transactions? All throughout the day. While we're asleep on this side of the world, they're up on the other side doing what? Transactions. There's a very wealthy gentleman that said, if we don't figure out how to get paid while we're asleep, we will work until we die. And that's not what we were designed for. So the cost for a CPU node is only $1,200 one time. Buy it once and get paid for life. Ladies and gentlemen, this individual is not affiliated with us, but he so eloquently explains exactly what our technology does, called a node. Because understand, back in the day, when crypto first came about, we used to buy these mining machines. They were expensive, they were cumbersome, and they would run your utility bill through the roof. I had several months where my energy bill was higher than the crypto that the mining machine had mined. Well, just as advancements take place in the technology world in general, you better believe on the blockchain and dealing with cryptocurrency and AI technology, the advancements have taken place even swifter and stronger. So understand, my question to you that you see on the screen is, are you earning cryptocurrency daily? It doesn't matter if you're a full-time trader, spare time or part-time trader. It doesn't matter if you purchase cryptocurrency from a speculative perspective, where you're hoping that it increases in value. And it doesn't matter if you don't have a clue what the blockchain is or what cryptocurrency is. Ladies and gentlemen, as I said earlier, you must recognize we have to wake up and see that we're in a digital society. So again, this gentleman is going to clearly explain how this technology works. Then we're breaking down the numbers. Turn your speakers up. Here we go.
Did make millions of dollars in crypto, but I don't trade crypto and I don't buy crypto. I make it. So I started making Bitcoin at $220. That in itself is crazy. We started mining Bitcoin. We were making a lot of money. We were like, man, if Bitcoin ever gets to $10,000, we're going to be rich. This guy that was mentoring me, he was worth $100 million. I became one of his top guys. And at that time, I didn't know anybody worth that kind of money. It just sounds preposterous to the average person. For the next 7 years, I learned software instead of hardware mining. So when you mine Bitcoin, you have a physical piece of machine. You plug it into the network. It confirms confirms transactions, you make Bitcoin. On the platform that we launched, which was a company called Gala Games, we worked with Snoop, the death row chain that Snoop gave me, kind of crazy. And instead of hardware, we had software. So these software nodes will confirm transactions on the blockchain. Every time you buy something on that blockchain, sell something, move some money back and forth, there's a fee. That fee goes up in the cloud and it's split evenly between the node owners. So that very first blockchain that we launched, I only put 15,000 in. And for 2.5 years, those nodes just confirmed transactions. I had about 17 million tokens in my wallet. I watched it go from less than a penny to 5 cents, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 84 cents in a matter of like 5 months. So I went from $11,000 in software nodes to having over 11.4 million liquid currency.
From 11,000 in software nodes to $11.4 million in liquid currency in 5 months. That's called a hint, hint, clue, clue. And that was just from a game, Gala Games. I'm talking to you about a technology that's being used 24/7 in the real world. So ladies and gentlemen, here we go. What's in it for me? Well, you have the opportunity to acquire software node. Some of you have an opportunity within the next 24 to 48 hours to still be a founding member before this particular node is gone for good. We have several others. I'm going to break it down for you. Understand there's an 80-20 split from the purchase of a CPU node, all right? So what I'm about to do, oh, my numbers weren't supposed to jump on the screen like that, but I must have jumped off a keynote, and I'm going to break that down for you. So I'm going to break this down to the ridiculous. I already showed you that we have 100 million merchants globally under contract, right? Remember, I already showed you that. Well, I know we got some folks here from Missouri, from the Show Me State. So let me show you this very quickly. This is not our website. This is NCR's website, right? I already showed you that we what? Have them contracted. Do any of these venues look familiar? Target, Walmart, Home Depot, BP. Are you kidding me? Any of those companies look familiar? Of course. We probably visited some of them this week. We already have NCR contracted. Let's look at PAX. This is PAX's website. PAX on their own has how many devices, ladies and gentlemen? 110 million. Let's look at Verifone's website. Remember, this in our website. This is Verifone, a multi-billion-dollar company. Ladies and gentlemen, do any of these venues look familiar to you? Oh, it jumped off the page. Let's see here. Oh, there we go, right there. I was moving too fast. There we go. McDonald's, you probably bought some lunch for your kids at McDonald's. Are going to do it today, right? Starbucks, and the list goes on and on. But here's the crazy thing about Verifone. They process 8 trillion transactions a year. We already have them contracted. So I think I've made it clear that we have way more than 100 million merchant terminals globally under contract. However, here's the funny thing about that. I'm not even including the fact that we have the 5th largest airport in the world already under contract. Not including that in the 100 million. Not including the fact that we already have Shopify. Are you kidding me? Already contracted, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm also not including in that 100 million the fact that the largest airport in the world is being built in Bucharest and a smart city is being built around it. And we already have it not only contracted to be for us to be the exclusive way for them to be able to accept cryptocurrency for the entire city and the airport, but we're also tokenizing that project as well. So with that, we're saying 100 million merchants globally under contract. I'm going to break it down even more. Let's say we only have 10% of those merchants that offer cryptocurrency as a form of payment, right? This is Derek Brown 101, because I want to break it down to the ridiculous, and you understand their risk with everything. But the fact of the matter is when you start getting paid, a year or two down the road, you're pleasantly surprised. So that's why I like to break it down. So 10% of those merchants means I'm only talking about 10 million merchants, not 100 million, okay? Let's say they only do 2 crypto transactions a day that average what? $100. That's 2 billion in merchant sales in that one day, right? Miracle Pay only charges 2%. Most companies, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, charge anywhere from 4, 5, 6% plus a 10-cent transaction fee. Remember I told you we've leveled the playing field. They're not playing any of those games. 2% merchant fee. That's 40 million in revenue in one day. Remember I told you our CEO is a genius. We're on the right side of money. So 40 million in revenue in one day. Remember, 30% is paid out to you and I as note holders. This is simple math. That's why I'm flowing through it. That brings it to 12 million that day. In this low example that I'm giving, the 80-20 split now kicks in, where 80% comes to you and I as note holders, 20% goes to the marketing plan. There are only 210,000 CPU nodes available. So now that means you're earning $45 a day or $16,000 a year passively, residually, and in addition to whatever else you're doing. Now, here's the fact. Are you going to be earning $16,000 the first week or even a few weeks or months when you acquire your node? No. Let's be realistic. We got our business hats on. I don't care if it's 5 times less or if it ends up being 3 times more. The fact of the matter is you purchased the technology one time and you're getting paid for life. So let me give you an example now. $16,685 a year from one CPU node. Let me show you why the person was so excited, and we're getting ready to wrap up. Well, I'm getting ready to wrap up because we have a huge announcement for you guys, so stay tuned. The reason why the individual was so excited for you to see this is, remember I just told you all in the beginning that several of you have an opportunity to be a founding member if you choose to do so. But remember, there's no pressure with Bellator, right? You sign up for free. You can acquire the technology when you want to, but understand there's limited amounts of nodes and there's limited timing to acquire some of them as well. And it's my job to let you know that up front, okay? So the node we were just talking about is the CPU node. Remember I just told you it's $1,200. Listen closely. This is leaving within 24 hours, guys. Now, they may do a slight extension for a few days. I don't know. The key is if it's there, get it, okay? But the phenomenal thing is, if you purchase one, not only are you considered a founding member, because we're going live on the NASDAQ tomorrow, but you're also getting one free as a gift. So that means, let's do some basic math. I told you 16,685. That's 116. $16,685 potential a year earnings, right? Well, if you bought one, they give you another one free. So you need to multiply that times 2. That's 33,000 and change passively, residually, and annually. And it's only going to increase as the mass adoption of our ecosystem takes place. Are you kidding me? So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I usually show a video on another node that we have. We have a few back here. Because, well, you know what? I have to show you this clip because it's going to make it clear when I mention to you that our board member who advises the kings in Saudi Arabia, you're going to see how this all comes together. So I got to play this quick clip, then I'm going to break down the last amount of numbers for you, blow you away, and then I'm going to step out of the way. Here we go. I want to make sure this is the right video.
The rhythm of ancient lands is...
And it's not. Here we go. Pay close attention to this because this is huge, and this is where our tokenization projects come into play.
We hear it all the time. The investment world is complicated. Stocks are confusing. Commodities are complex. And the Forex market? It's a maze. It's time to end the chaos. Introducing Project X. Let's look closer at the ultimate gateway bridging Wall Street and Web3. Project X isn't just a product, it's your key to the future. At its core lies the power of Wall Street capital asset strategies. Here is the huge news. A $12 billion deal has already been signed. This unlocks approximately $25 million a year flowing directly back to Project X holders. But we are just getting started. A colossal $60 billion deal is already on the way. Once signed, this is projected to add another $125 million to the community pool. The potential here is limitless. Plus, the project is powered by Metaterra's robust real-world assets, RWA, with massive backing from the oil and energy sectors. The rewards? Project X holders enjoy a $2 daily payout. That means $730 a year, guaranteed. And don't forget, you earn a $250 direct commission on every single NFT sale you make. For the first 10 days only, prices are slashed. Single NFT, just $1,300, down from $1,600. Starter pack, 3 NFTs, $3,600. Bonus pack, buy 5, get 1 free for $6,000. Whale pack, buy 25, get 7 free for $30,000. Secure your financial future today with Project.
Absolutely phenomenal, ladies and gentlemen. Let me break this down for you. Did you hear that? A $12 billion deal has been signed and inked with Bellator Life. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the opportunity for you to participate in the oil that you just saw, millions of barrels that's still in the ground in Saudi Arabia, as well as their utilities that are above ground. Now, you have a limited amount of time, I think to March 3rd or March 3rd or 7th, but this was a 10-day limited offer where you can get 1 Project X node for $1,300. The original price is supposed to be $1,600. First thing I want you to understand is these nodes are limited. There are 22,000 of them available. Once they're gone, they're gone. So what's the benefit to you, as you just saw on the screen? If you acquire 1 Project X node, you can grab it for $1,300 instead of $1,600. If you want to get 3, you're saving more money. 3 Project X nodes, $3,600. Pay attention. 5 Project X nodes, $6,000. Plus, they got the nerve to give you 1 free. And for the whales, 25 Project X nodes for $30,000, and they're giving you 7 free. Here's the insane thing: whichever one you choose, and however many you get of them, you're going to receive that initial ROI back in 18 months, 100% return on your investment guaranteed. Are you kidding me? In addition to that, it said you're earning $2 a day. It's not $2 a day. It's $2 worth of our Phoenix token a day. Got to give you a quick example. You're receiving, and then the 80-20 split makes it $1.60, right? Worth of our Phoenix token. And we're paid in what? Our Phoenix token. Give you one quick example. Had you been with us last January and your commission is also in the Phoenix token, and you allowed your commission, say it was $10,000, to sit until this January that just hit, if you had 10,000 in Phoenix token, allowed it to sit till this last January, it would go from $10,000 to $80,000. There was an 800% increase in our utility token called Phoenix. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think is about to happen this year with the introduction of our Project X nodes and everything else that's happening? In addition to that, there's $25 million that's been put into the Project X community pool, which you're a part of once you acquire a node or several nodes, right? Now you're also in a position where you're going to receive a balloon payment. We don't know exactly what that's going to be within the first 18 months. Then when the $60 billion deal is inked, you're going to receive another balloon payment. Are you kidding me? In addition to that, you're locked in for life at 4% with all the tokenization projects moving forward. I said locked in for life at 4%, along with everything else you're getting. And you received your initial ROI back in 18 months, the no-brainer of the century. So ladies and gentlemen, with that, I want you to understand that there literally, as I stated earlier, is nothing on the planet like you just witnessed. I'm going to close out by introducing you to our fearless chairman of our board, Mr. Doug Anderson For sake of time, I'm only going to play this up until the point where he mentions the company, okay? He's sitting on the New York Stock Exchange floor speaking on our company. As I told you, we have merged Web3 and Wall Street right under the Metaterra umbrella. Here we go. Take a quick listen. And this is a live TV show, by the way, that comes on cable called New to the Street.
And a warm welcome today to the Wall Street Capital segment of New to the Street. I'm Janet Alvarez, your host here from the iconic New York Stock Exchange. We're joined today by very special guest, Doug Anderson, CEO of Wall Street Capital Management. Doug, how are you today?
Great to be here. Thank you.
Doug, you know, there's so much history here at the New York Stock Exchange, and I feel like people like yourself are rooted in the traditional exchanges, in the traditional world of finance. How did you decide to make the leap to crypto?
So it wasn't hard. I mean, we are looking at the numbers, and as recent as like 7 years ago, I think we're looking at 3 billion transactions in that space. Today, we're looking upwards of 70 billion. Wow. So the growth is phenomenal, and it's something that can't be ignored. And people on this floor here are not ignoring it. They're looking at it very closely. And so we're following it, and we're looking for special companies that are cutting edge, that have something that we think is going to be catch fire, let's say, and grow exponentially. And when something grows exponentially, of course, investors can profit from that multiple.
Absolutely. So for our audience that isn't yet familiar with Miracle, tell us about Miracle. What is it? Where is it founded?
So the holding company for Miracle is Metaterra, and Miracle is one of their software assets. Metaterra is a company that we're working with, and we're interested in listing that on the stock exchange. It'll be a holding company for various software assets that they've developed. The first one being Miracle Pay. So you've noticed when you go to a store or a restaurant or what have you, these PAX or Ingenico machines, they're handheld by the server or at the point of purchase, and you wave your card over it or your Apple Pay, and the system reads it and the transaction happens instantly. What's different in this case is it enables a crypto wallet to do the same thing, and it's been approved by those companies, Ingenico and PAX, and those two companies represent the largest number of machines out there. So that's maybe 40 million machines across Europe, for example. And so that is a big deal to us. And when we saw that, we realized, hey, we better jump on this thing right away and do what we can to catch the train and not be standing at the station.
That is it. You definitely want to do what you can to catch this train and not get caught standing at the station. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd be remiss if I didn't allow you an opportunity to see that we're launching an area and you have an opportunity to participate. And I want you to figure out what that area is by this video. I have to show this clip. So with that, understand that this event is taking place in a few days as well. Here we go.
The new power is awakening. One breath, one target. And the future is forged now. A next generation revolution connects the entire continent through a golden web. The Bellator World Tour descends upon the heart of Africa. February 28, 2026, Abuja, Nigeria. Featuring over 300 visionary attendees and the industry-leading speakers shaping the ecosystem. Don't just witness the revolution, be a part of it. Bellator World Tour Africa. Let's build the future together.
Bellator Life. To your legacy.
To your legacy. Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, the last thing I want to show you is the website. If you have anyone on the continent of Africa, well, this is a technology. I wish I had time to show you. This just launched. It's absolutely phenomenal, but we'll save that for another time. But you can go to africa.bellatorlife.com, where the Africa World Tour is launching February 28th in Abuja, Nigeria. As you can see, this is not hype. This is about real adoption, real infrastructure, and real opportunities. So if you know, like I know, if you have the opportunity to be at the beginning of an entire continent being launched, then you want to take advantage of it. The insane thing is you don't have to go physically. You can just tap into who you know on the continent. They can register. The registration is only for those individuals who plan on attending the event. They're going to start in Abuja, Nigeria. Then they're on their way to Cape Town, South Africa, Kenya, and then Ghana. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we have three types of people on this call now. The number 3 person says it sounds good, but it's not for me. If you're a number 3 individual, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to get in front of this information. All right, at the very least, let the person know who invited you, who you may know that may be interested. Number 2 person has questions. Stick around. Chances are your questions are going to be answered, and we have leadership in place to make sure we do that. The key is to get position. But who this information was for in this hour was the number 1 person who said, Mr. Brown, you could have shut up 30 minutes ago when I saw I had the opportunity to acquire a technology that's like a digital vending machine. I don't have to pay a monthly fee. I don't have to get up at 3 in the morning and make sure it's still running. But acquire it one time that's going to pay me for life, I am in. So to that number 1 person, I'm honored to be the first to congratulate you in taking your first steps in securing your family's financial future. With that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. My name is Derek Brown. It's been a plum pleasing pleasure, and I look forward to working with each and every one of you around the world. I want to turn it back over to our fearless leader. I call him Bishop Hines.
Hello, everybody. Are y'all excited? It was an awesome presentation. I put in the chat 1111. Thank you, Mr. Derek Brown, for that awesome presentation. Once again, are y'all ready for our surprise guests? Put in the chat, put love hearts out there, because guess what? We are honored to bring to everybody, to everyone. I'm so honored to bring this person to the presentation call, and I was humbled to meet him over the call through Mr. Ray, Mr. Carlos. Just want to thank everybody for making it happen. Even Mr. Brown, thank you for allowing me to connect to the man of the hour. He has 100% of the facts, not just from the Bellator level, but from the corporate. We're so honored to welcome everybody. Let's put our hands together for the CEO, none other than Mr. Michael Thear himself. Mr. Michael, can you hear me?
I can. How are you?
Yes, yes. Hey, there's Mr. Michael. Hello, everybody. Let's take it. Let's put it in chat. Everybody, hearts. You got the CEO. Let's put hearts there for the global Bellator family. He's here.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So yeah, I mean, I'm watching Derek present the company and you know everything that we are, and you know you get the feeling like, well, there's nothing else to add, and there isn't, and you know at the same time, you know there is, because you know it's been a story on how we got here, you know, and you know it started for me when it comes to crypto. It started for me in 2015 when no one knew what it was. You know, you share it with someone as the, you know, that word crypto, and they look at you like with just kind of a blank stare. They really did not know what you were saying. And then I would then say, you know, like Bitcoin, and some would know, you know, what I was talking about. But I saw that technology as something that had the power to actually transform the world in its actual core into an abundant world. I saw that. It was like a vision, and I think that our setting, if you think about it, is that our setting is scarcity. Our setting is that there's a certain amount out there to get, and you're fighting other people to get it. And there's some truth in that. And I believe that it has to do with the system that we are living in. And so when I saw crypto, I saw not just like an opportunity to make some money. I saw that there's an opportunity, if enough people get behind this technology, to actually transform the world into abundance. So, when I watch Derek present, I'm listening to his presentation from two different places. One is that old world of scarcity is like, you got to get out there and make it happen. And if you do, you're going to make a lot of money. But it's inside of this box of yes, but there's just a certain amount to get. So for you to like get there, you have to like be better than others, and you have to actually, achieve it over someone else, So there's a reality of that what we do, which is really by design, is that you can come in and actually purchase an asset. That asset then pays you passively for as long as the company is successful, which we plan on it being for your entire life and beyond. And then there's the thing where it's like you want to actually create a career inside of this fintech future industry, which when I look at it, I'm seeing it that it's a technology that transforms the world, and it taps into abundance. So there's hundreds of people on this call, and then you ask the question, can all of the people on this call become wealthy with what we're doing? And I would say yes. And I would say thousands and thousands more, and then into the millions. Why? Because what we're doing is breaking through the old paradigm of scarcity. And we're literally, with the help of technology and a community that's strong, a Bellator is warrior, and that's a warrior to actually break through this barrier called scarcity and then break open what is abundance. Because this technology, it opens the floodgates for money to flow instantly across the world, and to actually take what's out there, the wealth of the world, and to tokenize that wealth, and to create just an unlimited amount of liquidity, which is money. So when there's money around, you have access, and you can do things. The real thing that we have in our world that has value is human energy. So as the world now starts to change, which is AI is coming very fast, and robotics is coming very fast. And those two together have the power to like literally do most of the work that's out there in the world. So then what is the human role? Well, I say the human role is to own that, to own the AI, to own the robotics, to own the systems that make us money. And then probably our focus as people in the world is basically to evolve, to continue to evolve. If you don't do that, then, and this is just me putting a suggestion out there, AI is coming for our jobs. AI is coming for our jobs. Robots coming for our jobs. And I don't like the idea of universal income. I think it's stupid. I think it doesn't work because it steals our soul and our passion, because we are human beings who want to strive for greatness, who want to evolve, who want to go out there and do something significant. And I think that for those of you who are inspired by that, then you should be a Bellator promoter, because we're about that. We're about going out into the world and actually saying what the future is. And the future is abundance.
And with what we're doing, abundance is accessible. We can reach it and we can have it. And we're doing it one person at a time, one webinar at a time. And I think everyone who's watched Derek present the company, you know the credibility is there. We're talking about going public, which happens in a few days, not tomorrow, but in a few days. Tomorrow is actually Miracle Pay opening for customers all over the world. But there's trillions and trillions of dollars being transacted, and there's trillions of dollars of wealth that will be tokenized. That wealth can actually be easily owned, and you can build up a portfolio of assets that make you wealthy over time. That takes the wealth of the world to the public, to the community, to the people of the world. And we have the private money now, so we don't have to worry about the small group of people deflating the currency and taxing you without you wanting that or permitting that. So the combination of what we are doing is something that everyone can be part of. You don't have to spend any money to start with us. If you don't have it available, then you can go out, roll up your sleeves, and tell people about Bellator, and that you'll still get paid. But the key here is to build up your wealth with having assets that pay you passively, so that you have the choice to have a job or not. You have a choice to go on vacation or not, and go when you want to. You have a choice to eat the healthiest food. You have a choice to live in an area that's safe and good for your family. You have those choices when you put the effort forth. And I can assure you, the guarantee I can give you is that we're an honest company, we're transparent, and we're really here to build a true company that follows regulations, that stays compliant, and stays as a vehicle for you to make this a career, not just the thing that you got into, not just the thing that you did, a true career. And we're really looking to evolve into being certified to do this, to have an agency that has a marketplace that reaches all corners of the world. So I truly invite everyone on this call, if you're not sold today, come back and again, understand it better.